Morning, beautiful people. Let me get my life together. I forgot my glasses. Ooh. Did you see my midnight video drop? It's a good one, folks. It's a good one. Okay. It's a good one. So it's actually on my. Well, after the video, you can go and look at it. It's how I am positioning myself for the real estate boom in Ghana. I released it at midnight this morning. The response is pretty good. So I talked about my ad that you'll start seeing at the end of my videos. Just to give you a backstory on it, it talks about why Ghana is in a position right now, why celebrities are even talking about Ghana, because Ghana is very trendy. And yes, there's other places in Africa that you can invest. That's unarguable. But Ghana has really positioned themselves to attract investors. It is what it is. For example, I talked about this on Jay Cameron's interview, the GIPC, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. Yes, it goes over the incentives they're giving investors to come into the country. It is what it is. They're just putting more effort into marketing. You know, the year of return, the year of return and beyond. It's all in the marketing, folks. And so yeah, that's why I just had to share that. So because we see ads on people's videos and you never really know the backstory. Some of them explain, some of them don't, but I wanted to explain because it's just there's depth to why a lot of my subscribers are subscribed, because we want to know about Ghana. We want to know what's going on. Ruby, hello. Thanks for chiming in. Where are you? Ruby Hinkora. I'm going to guess Ghana. You from Ghana? And but yeah, so it is what it is, folks. Ghana has just positioned themselves to be that location. Yeah. Okay, so today is celebration day 10 of Women's History Month, and we're talking about the women of the United States of America. The 1960s, ooh-wee, and what? Ooh-wee. This was a decade of women. Yes, Ghanaian husband. Yes, Ghanaian husband. Yes, Ghanaian husband. Are you saying that you're a husband to a Ghanaian? I'm not sure. Or are you saying that you're my husband? I need clarity on that, Ruby, please. But yes, get ready for this article I'm going to read. We might not even get through it because it's so juicy, and I want to talk. I'll read these on when I'm reading, and I really want to break this article down because there's a lot of issues we have because of colonization. A lot of this stuff came because of colonization. I might have to do just a live just on that alone, because a lot of the issues why people have to fight, protest, is because of colonization, guys. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. That's it. When people try to rule over other people, there's no way people are just going to accept it. I know I wouldn't. Your husband is Ghanaian. Got it. Because I was like, And so where are you from? Are you from the States? And how long have you been married? Are you a citizen of Ghana since you're married? I know that takes, I don't know, here, I'm not sure how long it takes for someone to become a citizen. Like if you were non-American, you marry an American, how long it takes? Auntie, do you know how long it takes to become a citizen when you marry someone? Oh, okay. So hey, if I marry a Ghanaian, maybe I can become Ghanaian in 6 months or something. But that's not a requirement because what? We're in a new time where getting married is not a must. But I understand getting married was a very strategic, wise thing to do back in the day. So I have nothing against marriage at all. It's a beautiful thing when done correctly. Okay, and what is correct? We can get into all that, huh? Okay, women's rights movement, political and social movement. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in. We don't have to stick to this subject, but this is just something I'm going to do in topic of Women's History Month. But if you guys have any questions, we can go off course. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I only need to complete documents once I get there. What? You're telling me you just need to complete a document and that automatically makes you a Ghanaian citizen? You don't have to go through a test? None of that? See, the benefits of marriage, guys. We can say what you want, but marriage is a business and it comes in handy when done right. I feel like I'm too dark. Let me get my light. Sometimes the lighting is good, sometimes not. 1 second. Do not leave me. But yeah, that's maybe I need to get married tomorrow. I have a lot of Ghanaian men in my comments. I'm like, can you propose to me, please? I'm just playing. Did anyone see my premiere this morning? It's another good one. And Ruby, how long have you been subscribed? Leslie, are you back in the States? I am back in the States. I came back in the States November. I didn't even run that hard. I'm breathing hard. November 17th of last year, I came back to the States. Because if you've been watching my videos, after I found out, basically after I got all the issues I could get out of the way, Ghana was just, I'm not going to stay here and waste my money because just unexcellence. So I was like, handle it, do what you got to do. I stayed here long enough. I cleaned up and cleaned up after everyone. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So it almost turned to 3 months, but I came back to the States November 17th. Because, you can't let people waste too much of your time. Because I know Ghana has this business culture, and I stayed. And then once I got the core of the issue solved, I came back home. And they ended up fixing everything. So, and maybe 3 weeks, do you have your beachfront property? Yes, the indentures are done. The indentures landed February 1st with my land consultant, and we'll be starting the land certificate soon. Because one thing I learned, most people in Ghana don't go for the land certificate because the indenture is pretty much all you need. But I already know for investors that I have or that I'm going to present to, they're like, no. They want to see a land certificate. They want to see what we considered a deed is considered a land certificate in Ghana. They want the deed. They want legit paperwork. They don't care about indentures, guys. When you present and raise money and capital, they want to make sure all your T's are crossed and all your I's are dotted. So that's it. I need my land certificate. And once I get my land certificate, I'll start pitching for investors and start building the beachfront resort. It's going to be a boutique, 4 townhomes on it. I've been having these designs since December of 2020. So my associates is in drafting and design technology. So I designed my layout and I partnered with a Ghanaian architectural firm. They're gorgeous, guys. I can't wait to share it with you. I've only shown my auntie because she lets me live here. So She needs to see my progress and know that I'm not just here sucking up air, you know? So I've shown her, um, yeah, it's kind of on the DL because I don't want anyone to roll up and steal my idea. Even though it's not like anything super inventive, but I want to give myself a shot of being at innovation, right? And sometimes you just can't share your idea. Oh, I shared my idea with my developer, which I probably shouldn't do because I shouldn't have did because he has the ability to just build it now, right? But hopefully he doesn't build it. And yeah, let me plug this in and then we'll get into our article. Keep on asking me questions. Because I'm on the chocolate side, so I need all the lighting I can get. There we go. Boom. Hopefully this is better. Hopefully. Next time I have my life together, guys. I'll have it together. My goodness. There we go. Yay. Alrighty, here we go. Article. Time for the women of the 1960s. Get ready for this, guys. It's a lot. Women's rights movement, also called the women's liberation movement. Diverse social movement, largely based in the United States, that in the 1960s and 70s sought equal rights and opportunities and greater personal freedom for women. Before I start this, I want to say that most of these issues were not in the Black American African communities. These were our white women. Because honestly, we historically, before colonization, Black women and Black men and African women were not at each other's throats. Were not considered. The women wasn't considered less than. This is all acts of colonization, guys. People fighting against colonization. So let's remember that just because it's history doesn't mean it's African American history. Hello, Kira May, Kier May, Sharik. You're from Ghana. Another Ghanaian in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Friedick. That's easier for me to say. Friedick. Welcome, Friedick. Thank you for joining me today. Us. So yes, a lot of these issues were white folks' issues, but we always get clumped in and we gotta help them. Okay. It coincided with and is recognized as part of the second wave of feminism. We can stop and talk right there because I wouldn't consider myself a feminist. Hey, Fix Afrique, welcome. What's happening with you? This article is what's happening. We're about to have, and I think we're going to have a good discussion based on how you guys are replying and letting me know you guys are here. We're going to talk about some good stuff today. And I want to hear your opinions because what we're going to talk about it can be very, what's the word? Controversial. Because we have the religious opinion, then you have people that have their own opinion. So let's get into it. We can get as ugly as we want. You hear me? Okay. Feminism. So I wouldn't consider myself a feminist because a lot of feminists are like anti-men, and I'm not anti-men. I love men. I'm grateful for men. I believe we have our awesome partnership. But there's some women that are just mad at men, and there's viable reasons to be. But I wouldn't consider myself a feminist. Would you guys consider yourself a feminist? While the first wave of feminism of the 19th and early 2000 centuries focused on women's legal rights, especially the right to vote, the second wave feminism of the rights to vote movement touched on every area of women's experience, including politics, work, the family, and sexuality. Let's go back to where it said right to vote. So as we know, American Africans were considered 3/5 a vote or 1/3. Auntie? Auntie? 3/5 a vote or 1/3 a vote? One third. Okay. So the American Africans were considered one third of a vote. Yeah, the network in Africa is crazy. I'm watching from Cameroon in the house. Yes. Yes. So American Africans were considered one third of a vote. The women were not even able to vote. So women were looked at as less than slaves or the enslaved. We're waiting for you in Ghana. We love you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Freddie. I can't wait to get there. It's gonna be what I see in my mind's eye. It's gonna be so not only fun, but we're gonna put in work. I'm looking forward to contributing to the community, because as you see in one of my videos, the communities they're already coming together and cleaning and raising money for the local soccer team. I can't wait to be a part of that. That's going to be just awesome. um, yes, so thanks for checking in, Frieden. So women weren't even able to vote, so they're considered less than slaves, the enslaved. What? Ooh, I'm so glad I was born in 1988 because you're gonna have to kill me. I'm sorry. Okay, the second wave feminism of the women's rights movement touched on every area of women's experience, including politics, work, the family, and sexuality. Organized activism by and on behalf of women continued through the third and fourth waves of feminism from the mid 1900s and the early 2000s. 2010s for yes, so it lasted decades and it's still going on because we're still fighting for equal pay. In the After the World War II, the lives of women in developed countries drastically changed. Homes Check this out. Household technology eased the burdens of homemaking. Life expectancies increased dramatically, and the growth of the service sector opened up thousands of jobs not dependent on physical strength. Because that's one thing we can't argue. Obviously, the majority of men physically, they're built to protect, basically. Because if you want to think about, when we lived in the forest and stuff, right? The men went out. I'm not fighting no lion, no tiger, no bear. Okay. Or I'm not gonna chase a hyena or some. I'm not gonna do it. I rather bring the meat. What they say, go bring the bacon, and I'll cook the bacon. Yeah. So that totally makes sense because no, I rather nurture. I don't want to go out and hunt a lion. Okay. So very exaggerated example, but I know you guys understand what I'm saying. So physicality, we get it. That's unarguable. You guys physically are made for protection. Who argues that, right? And of course, there's women that can be masculine and big too, but I don't want to be like that. Okay, so now that there's more jobs that do not depend on physical strength, that opens up opportunities for women. Despite these social economic transformations, cultural attitudes, especially concerning women's work and legal precedents, still reinforce sexual inequalities. So even when there are opportunities that didn't depend on physical strength, they were still treated as unequal. So what do you think that means? If you have the ability to do a job or to do a work and you're still denied it, that just shows me there's a other issue. There's an issue here. There's someone, whoever is denying me my right, that means they must find me as a threat. Because why would you stop me from providing for myself and providing for my family? Sounds like a pride issue to me. Power and pride is the mindset of men/society. The patriarchal mentality. Yes. Which started with colonization, because I will always say, prior to colonization, there men, especially African, in the ancient times, there was women queens running countries. It just wasn't an issue. Okay, there were men looking up to women in wars, women leading armies. I mean, it's not a colonization, guys. I just can't do it. And the growth of the sector can open up jobs, and legal precedents still reinforce sexual inequalities. An article account of the oppressive effects of prevailing notions of femininity appeared in books. So now women are starting to write books, and expressing themselves in other ways because it was assumed that women were happy at their homes in their little white picket fence with their children, with the husband working and coming home. It was assumed like that was the image on TV. And it was assumed by the patriarchal system that they're happy. Come to find out, they weren't, because in the 1960s, they rose up with a fierceness. You hear me? Um, that book, it became a worldwide bestseller and raised feminist consciousness by stressing that liberation for women was liberation for men too. It doesn't have to be a battle. Where did this battle come from? That's what I don't understand. When did it become us versus you? That's the problem. Even in the African community, we need unity. We need to leave all these colonized mentalities, the patriarchal system, the hierarchy. We need to leave all that out of our family structure. It needs to go. And we need to promote unity because once there's unity, guys, it's very hard to break it up. It's very hard to break up a family when it's unified. Would you agree? The first public indication that change was imminent came with women's reaction to the 1963 publication of Betty Frieden's The Feminine Mystique. Frieden spoke of the problem that lay burdened unspoken in the mind of the suburban housewife. Utter boredom and lack of fulfillment. Women who had been told that they had it all, nice houses, lovely children, responsible husbands, were deadened by domestic life, she said, and they were too socially conditioned to recognize their own desperation. Can you imagine? Because whenever I think of systematic oppression, I always think of the community, this community first. And I'm like, is there anything that we are so conditioned to not talk about in our families, in our communities? What are we so conditioned that we don't speak up on? And one thing I thought about was that we're not speaking up on going back to the homeland. And, everyone's not called to repatriate. I get it. But why are we not speaking up on the people of the land returning to the land? Because there's a lot of other ethnicities and groups and countries actually excited to go to Africa and build. And I'm just like, are we too conditioned, especially here in the States? Because that's where I'm from. That's all I can talk about. Are we too conditioned in the States to even look, hey, brown coat blue, to even raise our voice or to even think of going outside of our borders? Because I had experience of living with, someone who just got out of jail. And I noticed his activity was very, like, we had to do stuff for him, And I'm just like, he's been conditioned so long that even though he's not in jail outside, he still expects things to be done for him as if he was inside. So I'm like, what leftovers of being enslaved are we still tolerating? Ooh, that's deep. That's not making us look other places, look other countries for investing, look into other business opportunities. All I know is I'm like, I want to be woke. I want to be conscious. I want to press, and I just don't want to be buckled down. Like whatever. That's why I'll continue to read, continue to stay open minded because I will be free on every level. You hear me? Most of the older people in the States would not even consider it. I asked my father if he would like to go and he'd rather visit Switzerland or France. That's part of the conditioning. Yeah, it is sad. That's part of the conditioning. Like, I'm the first one to return to the homeland in over 400 years. It wasn't even across anyone's mind. The only person I thought internationally was my brother, and Africa wasn't even on the list. He was thinking of more of Spain, right? And that's because we're conditioned to think Africa. We have been conditioned, and most feel disconnected from the motherland. Yes, most feel, and that's all, as we all know here, perpetrated It was purposely, especially when I went to the Elamina Castle in Ghana, and it said the gate of no return or the door of no return. It was meant for us not to come back. It was meant for us not to ever come back. And yeah, and as we know, they've tried everything in their power. They eradicated our history, our language, our culture. And in spite of all that mess, we still, first of all, we're Africans deep down. Like you can't that can't be taken away from us. And that's why I heard someone say like there's a hybrid African on the rise, like us Africans that have been gone for so long. But no matter what, you can't take Africa out of us, out of our style, out of the way we eat, out of the way we dance. There's just expression that can't be taken away. So there's like this new hybrid of African that has been gone so long, but we still want to be. Um, there is no, I'm not African, I'm black. No, no, I'm African. I'm from the greatest continent of the world. I was just gone for 400 years. That's it. Brown cat, my siblings and I have all been to Africa, but for them, old folks, they are conditioned deep. Hey, my approach to that, because my mom was like, oh, I never would have thought about Africa. And they travel, they go to Dubai, Europe, they love to travel. And now, guess what they're talking about? Going to Tanzania or Tanzania. Is it Tanzania or Tanzania? Ooh, embarrassed. Now they're talking about going one of Jay Cameron's tours, going to Egypt, going to Sierra Leone. Especially now that I know my Maitri DNA is from Sierra Leone, the Mende tribe. They're talking about going to South Africa, Kenya, and that would have never happened if no one instigated it. So I don't even I don't convert people to like come to Africa. I just display it. I display the good, the bad, and the ugly and let them make their decisions. And now my mom's like, maybe I'll get a plot, And even my auntie, like, oh, yeah, well, maybe our next trip we can go to Africa. I don't have a savior complex, guys. I'm just going to live my best life, let my light shine, and hopefully it attracts whoever it attracts. That would be amazing. Yes. Please, are you home? No, please. Yes, I am in California as we speak. I came back to the States November 17th of last year. Yes, participation. Thank you. Okay, we're already at 27 minutes. See, we didn't even get even halfway through the article. But I'm not in a rush today, guys, so I don't have to do exactly 30 minutes. We can go over if we need to. I'm from the Fang tribe or Fang. So I'm not fluent in Chinese, but sometimes my vowels, I confuse them with my English vowels. So in Chinese, it'll be Fang. In the US accent, it will be Fang. So I'm going to say it's Fang tribe of Gabon. The Fang tribe of Gabon. Now, Ruby, I know you said you married a Ghanaian. So for some reason, I thought you were from the States and then you married a Ghanaian. But you're actually from the mother continent and you married a Ghanaian. Because Gabon, tribe of Gabon, is that a good? I need to know my African like tribes and cultures more, so don't shoot me down. But Gabon, is that a country or is that the tribe of Gabon? Feng tribe of Gabon. Is Gabon a country or a city within Ghana? Vin, FYI. I don't know what VYN means. Can you explain that? Okay. Country. Gabon is a country. Got it. Okay. So you're Ghanaian and Gabonian. Ruby, you're Ghanaian and Gabonian, or Gabonian and Ghanaian. So when you get married, South Cameroon. So when you get married, how does that work in African tribes? Do you have to change your last name like in the States, like how we do? And do you claim the tribe that you married your husband? Or, yeah, that's another type of taking on the man's last name, which I don't mind. Like, especially if you have kids, like I want everyone to have the same last name, right? But should that be a standard? That's a question. Okay. The first public indication that changed. I'm Ghanaian. I think you're in Ghana now. We love you, family. I am in So my land is in Ghana, but I currently am in the States. So I'm gonna make my way there, guys. My next goal is to be there in June. Okay. Spoke of the problem that lay burden unspoken in the mind of the suburban housewife. Utter boredom and lack of fulfillment. Okay, I read that already. Reformers and revolutionaries. Initially, women energized by Frieden's book joined with governmental leaders and union representatives who had been lobbying the federal government for equal pay and for protection against employment discrimination. And I've been saying in each live, when you get women together, they will change legislation. You hear me? And that's what's about to go down. By June 1966, they had concluded that polite requests were insufficient. You remember, because like a lot of us are raised, you have to have a quiet, meek spirit, and they realized being quiet and meek wasn't getting things done. I might not be able to go back to Ghana this year. Need more vacation time. Hey, Ghana is going nowhere, so I'm sure it'll be ready for you when you have the time. By June 1966, they had concluded that polite requests were insufficient. They would need their own national pressure group, a woman's equivalent of the NAACP. With this, the National Organization for Women was born. I am African American, born in America, who married a Ghanaian brother. My maternal line is from Gabon. Fang is the tribe. Got it. Also, you're just like me. I'm an African American African from America. I'm not married yet, but my maternal line is from Sierra Leone. Got it. And Mende tribe, Fang tribe, Mende tribe. Got it. See, I just got better. Thank you, Ruby, for sharing. The organization was not an instant success. By the end of the second year, NLW had just 1,035 members and was racked by that's a long word, ideological divisions when the group tried to write a Bill of Rights for women. It found consensus on 6 measures essential to ensuring women's equality. What did I say? Change legislation. They got a Bill of Rights written. Enforcement of laws banning employment discrimination, maternity leave rights, child care centers that could enable mothers to work, tax deductions for child care expenses, equal and unsegregated education, and equal job training opportunities for poor women. Hey, a garden for mom. Was it you? Yes, you stopped by my premiere, my like 1 minute and 45-second premiere. Thank you for that. It's really encouraging when you guys are in my premiere. It makes me very happy. See, guys, so if you live in the States, a lot of the benefits that we have is because these women fought and came together and changed legislation so we can have these rights. I can't even imagine being pregnant and having no rights or can't stay, don't have off time. What? And if you take too much off time, you get fired. What? Because you're bringing another person in the world, you lose your job? Oh, wow. That's not fair. 2 other measures stirred enormous controversy. One demanded immediate passage of the Equal Rights Amendment to the U.S. Constitution to ensure equality of rights regardless of sex. And the other demanded greater access to contraception and abortion. Now that is it shouldn't be a controversy in my opinion, but folks, for some reason, people think that you can vote on someone else's body. I don't accept the fact that you can tell me what to do with my body. Regardless of your stance on abortion or not, abortion good or bad, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone thinks they can tell me what to do with my body. Ooh, that just sends me, that just a rocket. Okay, it's going to be time to fight here again soon. These people getting crazy. I concur. Yes, since finding your channel, I have been looking at a lot of YouTube videos from Ghana. Man, when you get into that YouTube, like the tube of YouTube, you get sucked in, and it's educational, really, when you find the correct ones. Because I was looking into prefabricated housing, which is my next video is going to be talking about more of like my actual project, and I became obsessed. I was so obsessed. I looked at Not helping. I looked at every thing on prefabricated housing. I was in for probably months. I was obsessed and just looked at a whole bunch of videos. We're proud of you, sister. If you win, we all win. I homeschool my 6-year-old daughter, and we are solving for X today. Chat later. Alrighty, Ruby. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, math. I love math in school. Solve for X, honey. Solve that X. I'm here in Cali too. A garden for mom. Cali in the house. We strong today. Um, yeah, so the U.S. Constitution to ensure equality of rights regardless of sex, and the other demanded greater access to contraception and abortion. That's I'm right there with you. I already got my house planned and drawn up. Oh yeah, I took 2 months to draw my layout, um, which I'm so glad that I knew how to use Rivet because I learned it in school and I didn't think I was ever going to use it again. But when I had my idea, I said, "Oh, I need to." I drew my idea first. I had drawings, and it was so serious. I bought the drawing board and everything. I was just designing, and then now I have rendering. So that's going to be a great day when I can share my renderings with you guys. Ooh, it's going to be great. Brown coat, what does your designs look like? Is it 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, house, condominium? Yes, participation. Okay. Revolutionary. Lost my spot. 1 second. Okay. When now through its support behind passage of the ERA, the United Auto Workers Union, which had been providing now with open office space, withdrew its support because the ERA would effectively prohibit protective labor litigation for women. When some now members called the repeal of all abortion laws, other members left the fledgling organization, convinced that the latest action would undermine their struggles against economic and legal discrimination. That's a question right there. Why would abortion laws affect economic and legal the struggles against economic and legal discrimination? That doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, I don't get that line, guys. That's like saying, um, I want to be healthy, right? I want to eat like vegan lifestyle. But if you go against, eating specifically chicken, we're gonna leave your movement. What? I don't even get it. Um, I'm a 3-bedroom, single floor house with bolted ceilings, great room, open plan. Nice. Octagonal. My reading is horrible today, isn't it? Oh my God. But nice. I love an open plan. I think we all need light in the house, especially us with our melanin levels. Okay, one more article, then we're going to wrap it up. Another paragraph. Now, membership was also stifled off from the left, impatient with a top-heavy traditional organization, activists in New York City, where half of Now's membership was located, walked out. So they're walking out on the movement just because they wanted equal rights and to do what they wanted to do with their bodies. What? I'm so confused. Over the next 2 years, as Now struggled to establish itself as a national organization, more radical women's groups were formed by female anti-war civil rights and leftist activists who had grown disgusted by the new left's refusal to address women's concerns. Ironically, sexist attitudes had pervaded 1960s radical politics. With some women being exploited or treated unequally within those movements. In 1964, for example, when a woman's resolution was brought up to a student nonviolent coordination committee, flippantly cut off all debate. The only position for women in SNCC is prone. What? I am so confused right now. I don't understand how the issue of making abortion legal encourage people just to leave the organization altogether. I'm confused. I don't understand. But hey, you can't force anyone to do anything. So if people want to leave, they want to leave. I want to end on a happy note. I don't want to end on that. Let me go down. Success. Let's stop at a successful point in this article. Despite such dissension in its leadership and ranks, the women's rights movement achieved much in a short period of time. With the eventual backing of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in 1965, women gained access to jobs in every corner of the U.S. economy, and employers with long histories of discrimination were required to provide timetables for increasing the number of women in their workforces. Accountability. I lower down. They so crass, saying only position is prone. It's cold. It's a cold business. Where did this come from? Where? Barbaric Europeans. That's the only example. That's the only reason for that. Okay. Third religion. Boo! And I'm ending the live now. But hey guys, 40 minutes, about to be 41 minutes. Thanks for hanging with me. Thank you for participating. Thank you for supporting. There's more videos coming your way. There's more information. The goal is to hit 4,000 watch hours. We are at 2,777, guys. We have a chance of hitting 4,000 watch hours by March 31st. And I could not do this without you guys. You guys are watching my videos, and I'm grateful. So I'm going to keep them coming for you. Let's continue to encourage each other. Let's continue to, I keep catching you at the tail end today. Yeah, you do. Let's keep on pressing, guys. And we're not here to convert anyone to come to Africa. We're here to share our story and inspire. And if they want to come along, they can. So I will see you guys next. My next live will be Tuesday. Yes, turn on the notifications so you get my notifications so you won't be on the coat and brown coat of my stuff. And I will see you guys live Tuesday, but I should have a couple more videos dropping this week. Thank you guys so much. Stay blessed.